So good morning once again. I welcome you all to today's webinar on digital tools and automation for efficient project execution. And this webinar is a DigiSkill project that is implemented in partnership with Youth Power Organization. So thank you for joining us. And once again, my name is Joy Adikombi, and I am joining today's webinar from Lagos State, Nigeria. So kindly drop in the chat box where in Nigeria you are joining us from. So I would love to see our locations. So kindly drop your location in the chat box right now. I'm looking forward to seeing you all. Please drop your location in the chat box.
Joy, I think you're on mute. Hi, Joy. Can you unmute yourself?
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry about
Okay,
that. I didn't know my mic was
that's fine.
muted. Okay, so good morning once again. I welcome you all to today's webinar on digital tools and automation for efficient project execution. And this webinar is a DigiSkill project that is implemented in partnership with Youth Power Organization. So thank you for joining us. And once again, my name is Joy Adikombi. and I am joining today's webinar from Lagos State, Nigeria. So kindly drop in the chat box where in Nigeria you are joining us from. So I would love to see our locations. So kindly drop your location in the chat box right now. I'm looking forward to seeing you all. Please drop your location in the chat box. Okay, I'm waiting. Tolulope, I want to know where you're joining us in from. Shima or Shimi, I would love to know where you're joining us from. Okay, we have Sharon joining us from, wow, awesome. We have Sharon joining us from Port Harcourt. Nice, thank you for joining us. We have Akindele Salami joining from Ibadan. Thank you so much. Oh, we have another person joining from Lagos State, Nigeria. Tolulope, thank you so much for joining us today. It's such a pleasure having you here. Okay, without wasting much of our time, okay, we have somebody joining again from Delta State. That's a very long or far place. Thank you for joining us. It's such a pleasure having you here. Oh, wow, awesome. Thank you all. So right now, without wasting much of our time, knowing that we only have 1 hour for this session, I will be handing over to our facilitator for today in person of Mr. Paul. And Mr. Paul is the founder and the CEO of Vinex Partners Limited. And he has over 15 years of experience in project management. He's a certified project management professional, and he has led the development of innovative mobile value-added services. So, but before that, I would like to remind everybody that today's session promises to be amazing and educative. So kindly jot in your notepad or in the chat box every of your questions as regards a session, and all questions will be addressed to immediately after the session. So kindly take notes. Over to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Paul. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Joy. Good morning, everyone. I hope you can all hear me. If you can hear me, just type yes in the chat box. Okay, you can see Mary, Akindele, Tolulope. Okay, good. So you all can hear me. Thank you once again. So we'll go straight into the session. We have a very short time, 1 hour, but I believe this time very impactful, and you have a lot to learn. So I would skip my introduction. I'm sure you must have seen or heard or read a lot about me from the registration and post. So I won't go deep into it. You can just get my details online. So we'll go straight. What do we plan to achieve today? What do you expect to get from this presentation? Again, remember this is a digital skills presentation. So in this 60-minute section, right, I will dive into the world of modern project management, and then we'll talk more on, yeah. So we'll talk more on the various automation tools and the challenges you face when managing a project and why you need um, um, technology and tools to make your project a success. That's what, and I'm going to practically take you guys through a particular tool. There are lots of tools, but I'll take you through one, and then hopefully that would give you the stepping stone to explore other tools. But before we go any further, let's talk about our theory of change. Can you all see my screen? Let me confirm that first. Can you see my screen? Please type yes. Okay, great. So you can all see my screen. Great. All right, let me just minimize this. Yeah. So talk about theory of change, and basically, let me make sure the screen is completely clear. Okay, great. So talk about theory of change, and our change theory is basically simple and very clear. The aim is to empower young people with the knowledge and skills they need to challenge systemic issues while influencing their peers and youth stakeholders towards youth-led change. In summary, making change in the youth through giving them knowledge in digital skills, and that's why we are here today. So it's important we understand that and why we are doing this. So we'll go straight to the next slide. Before we start, let's have an icebreaker. So I want to hear from you. Which digital tool have you used before? So just type in the chat box, any digital tool. What digital tool have you used before? Let me start. We are using Zoom for communication. So if you've used any digital tools before, please let us know. So I'm in chat box listening to you. Or what digital tool have you used? Please share with me. Type in the chat box what digital tool you've used before. Remember, a digital tool is any technology that you use to get things done. So I'm expecting your feedback on the chat box. Can you all hear me now? If you can hear me, please say yes. Type yes in the chat box if you can
Yes,
hear
sir, I
me.
can hear you, sir. Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Hello, Joy. Am I audible?
You are very audible, sir.
Okay, good. So great. So my question was type. I want you all to share with me digital tool you've used before. Any digital tool. I haven't gotten a response yet. So share with me any digital tool you've used in the past. I'll
So
start
there
by
are
saying Zoom.
responses
This
in
is
the
one
chat.
platform. Oh, okay. So I think I am not seeing so much. Hold on. Not seeing the chat yet. Okay, Joy, can you read them out from your end? Trying to figure out from the chat.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, so read out what are the tools they've used. Can
Okay,
you
we have
share just read
people
them out from the chat. I can't
listing
see them
they've
on my side.
used MS Project. We have people that said
Okay.
they've used Canva before. We have,
Okay, great.
what do you say, sir?
No, I'm listening. I said great.
Okay, we have a lot of people mentioning they've used CapCut, Zoom, we have Google Doc, we have Google Sheets, we have some people listening and they've used Coursera, Udemy for online courses. Samuel Agdola mentioned he has used Coursera, Udemy for online courses. We have Akindele Salami mentioning she has used Zoom and Google Meeting, Word documents. So we have people listing they've used Google Meet. We have people listing they've used Teams and all. So those are some of the tools that were
Okay,
listed in
great.
the.
So it's very clear that no one is new here to digital tools. So we'll go straight to it. The next slide I was talking about is before we even start. Remember, digital tools is meant for we are basically going to review a digital tool for project management, right? But before we even go further, let me explain what a project is because it's important that you understand what a project is and then you would know how to use your tools for project management. So according to the Project Management Institute, a project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique service or result. Now, there are key features in a project. It is temporary, it has unique outputs, there's progressive elaboration, which means that the scope can be expanded, and then there's cross-functional dimension for the project, which means that there are various departments involved. and then resources are constrained. So you have limited resources in terms of time, cost, and scope. So let me give a simple example.
Sir, your mic is muted.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'm saying, let me backtrack. I talked about what the project is, right? So I said a project is basically a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product or service. Now, the characteristics of every project is that it's temporary. There's a unique output. There's progressive elaboration, which means the scope can be expanded, involve cross-functional departments, and then the resources are constrained. So there's limited resources in terms of time, scope, and cost. Now, for a typical example, the project we are on today, which is the DigiSkill presentation, in itself is a project because it's temporary. It's only happening today between now and 11 a.m. There's a unique output, which I need you guys to understand how this is a digital tool, and then it's progressively elaborated. You can expand the scope by explaining more things to you, and it involves cross-functional. So they draw from their main, making sure that this presentation happens, right? So in all, that is some of what the project is. Now that you understand what the project is, the next thing you ask yourself, please, at any point in time, if you can't hear me, just call my attention. So back to what I was saying, now that we know what the project is, the next question would be, why digital tools matter to projects. Now imagine if we don't have Zoom. The challenge of having this, if we're having this on a certain platform, like let's say WhatsApp, we can't even have this on WhatsApp. So there'll be challenge and whole lot of challenges to come up, right? So with the shift in education, work, and life in itself, the digital shift, there's a need for us to use digital tools for our project to be successful. If you don't use digital tools, definitely you would have issues with your project in terms of communicating with the team. There will be delayed tasks, and you can't hold anyone accountable. But with digital tools, of course, there's the benefit of collaboration, there's time savings, and then in this fast-paced digital world, you can only excel if you have a digital tool. Now, so let's look at the various digital tools that you can actually use in project management. We have the task and project management tools. There's Trello, there's Asana, there's ClickUp, right? You can Google this on the internet to know their website, and they're basically free tools. So for these ones and the project tools, they're used to assign tasks, set deadlines, and then track progress virtually. Then you have the communication and collaboration tool. For example, Zoom is one of them. There's Slack, there's Microsoft Teams, which most of you are very familiar with. They are used for video calls and meetings. And now we also have file sharing and documentation tools. Example is Notion, Google Drive, Dropbox. At least almost 90% of everybody in this call has a Gmail. That I'm certain about. And then finally, we have automation tools. Automation tools that automate workflows. We have Zapier, we have Make, and we have IFTTT. So these are the digital tools we need to be able to make our project effective. But we're going to focus on one today. We can't treat everything. And I'll pick the most simplest one, the ones that you can start to use immediately, right? So we'll talk about a particular project tool called ClickUp. Remember, I talked about ClickUp as one of the tools we have for project management. So I'll actually run you through how to use ClickUp. Now, what we'll do is this. We'll do a practical demo on how to use ClickUp. So we'll have a case study here. The case study is saying that we want to organize the community cleanup project, right? So the project will have a group of 5 youth plan a community event titled Cleanup Saturday. to clean the local parks. Now, the goal is to mobilize 30 volunteers, gather cleanup supplies, and then manage logistics over 2 weeks timeline. This is the project, right? And the objective is clear: secure approval from local leaders, source and purchase cleaning materials, secure and coordinate volunteers, plan and execute events and schedule, then finally share results online. So this is the summary. This is the project, right? You have 2 weeks. The event day is on Saturday, 17th. How do we make sure this happens with ClickUp? Now, this is the interface of ClickUp. I'll go into the internet now and then I'll sign to ClickUp and then I'll start explaining. But before that, first thing first in project, this is the breakdown of what we want to do, right? This is the various activities. We have to create a plan, execution, and post events folders. Then these are the various things that will happen: add tasks, the planning list, the execution list, the post event list. These are the tasks that will happen. So how do you execute this using ClickUp? So the next part I'll be signing up into will be the ClickUp page. So I'm sure you can see my ClickUp screen. If you can, just type in yes. Okay, great. So I can see that you cannot see my ClickUp screen. That's great. So I will sign directly into ClickUp now, and then we can commence. So I'll be switching in between ClickUp and the PowerPoint presentation. So let's start signing with my, now ClickUp is a free tool. Also, there's a paid version of it if you have to do more, right? So I'm signing into ClickUp now, and then we can start the project. Awesome. So I'm signing to ClickUp already, and I'm sure you can see my screen. I'm going to explain a certain section. So you take a look at my mouse, you see where my mouse is hovering about. This is basically the page, home page of ClickUp, right? You have the home, inbox, docs, dashboard, whiteboard, where you can write your whiteboard notes, forms, clips, goals, timesheet, and there's a lot more, right? You can explore all this. But the major part of ClickUp, right? And ClickUp has a very good interface, right? You have the board interface. I'll click on the board view. Now, what it means is that it shows you everything. You won't see anything yet because I have not started any project, right? But the most important part of ClickUp is this section that says spaces. Take note, once you sign into ClickUp, spaces is where you start everything. Now, to start your space, where you create your first project. So I'm going to create a new space. This time it's open. I'll call it the name of the project. Now, remember, if you go back to the PowerPoint presentation, the objective or goal is to do Cleanup Saturday. That's the name of our project, Cleanup Saturday. Right. So back on my space, I'm creating a group called Cleanup. You can describe what it is, basically. Can put the project overview on the description if I want to, and I'm doing that now. So that explains what it is, and then you click continue. Now, once you're on this page, you select what you want to do. Remember the project I'm doing, right? So the project will give you the project breakdown, everything that is involved in the project. So you immediately create your space. So once it is done, I have created my project. So you would see at the low on my left side view, you would see Cleanup Saturday. So this is our project. Now that this is done, remember we have our activities already stated. Now remember in project management, one thing is important. You have to plan your projects before you even start. ClickUp is a tool that will help you execute and plan, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't plan your project. So what we've done here is basically a plan that we must have done offline to state the various things that we need to do, right? So we have this stated already. So the next thing is we have to use it on our tool, right? So we'll go straight and start by saying, okay, let's create the various section we need to create. We need to create a section for planning, execution, and then post events. So I come back to ClickUp, and then every section I can create a list. So You right click, you see new list. Remember, your list is your various subsections. So we have the planning. I'm going to create the planning first. Planning is created. I have that created. I will change the first one. I can rename this and call it the next, let's change the name. I'll call it execution. All right, so I have that created already. And then the next thing is to create a new list. So go to create new and then list. The first list, so I'll explain the difference between a list and a task. A list is like your major activity, activity or your subsections of the project, while the task is actually the activity. So we have our post event created. So if you look on the left, you would see the three already created: execution, planning, and then post event. So I am done with this, right? So we're done with task one. Let's go to two. Two says create on the planning list, create a task, write and submit an approval letter. So this is assigned to Paul. The due date is, the event is May 17th. So we'll say the due date is, let's say, May 5th. So I'll change that to May 5th, right? So the task is to write and submit an approval letter. This is assigned to Paul. And then, so what we do immediately is to come back to ClickUp. Under planning, this is planning, right? Go, you see the right click on the list, those three dotted sign, and come here and create a new task. Now this task is created under planning. Take note, it's under planning. So you type in the name. The name of this task is basically to, let me copy that from. So we want to write an approval letter. Remember, we have to get this project approved. Now that's what it is. Now, who is that assigned to? Yes, where you have assignee is where you assign the task to. The task is assigned to Paul. That's me. So I'll just click Paul. It's assigned to me. What's the due date? Remember, we said 5th of May. You come and put due date 5th of May. And then that's selected 5th of May. Is it priority? Now, in our presentation, we'll talk about how, if it's very urgent, yes, this is urgent, we need to get approval. So you click high priority, right? And tags, if you want to tag, maybe you want to say, you know how we tag on social media, we'll say, okay, hashtag cleanup. So the tag everyone can use for them. Right now, I've said this is already done. Now take note, if I want my team members to be aware, right? Let's say this watch list is where you put someone who will hold you accountable. So let's say from my list of colleagues, I think Favor needs to be aware about this. I'll then put Favor, I'll add Favor to be here as one of the washers, right? So if you click on this, you will see I've selected Favor already. So there are two washers already in this. And once that is done, then I create my task. So once you go to planning, you would see this task is being created, right? Now, the good thing about this is that you can also select what section under to do this task relates to. So let's say it's between, let's say it's in progress. So I click in progress, right? So it shows that this task is in progress. And it's here you see who is assigned to Paul. Due date is May 5th and it's that urgent. So let's just go to the next task. The next one says get material cost, and this is assigned to Patrick, right? Okay, that's fine. And this is due April 29th. So come back, and this is still on that planning list, right? So come back to ClickUp, And then still under planning, you click create new. We are creating another task now. And this basically has to do with getting costing materials for this event. Who is that assigned to? Assigned to Patrick. So say Patrick, assigned to you. What's the due date? April 29th or 27th, I think 29th. So April 29th. So come and select 29th of April. That's the date. You can also add time if there's a time to it. Let's say, okay, let's go back and see. Let's go back and see. Let's be more specific. We can add time to it as well. So let's say 11 a.m. So 11 a.m. on 20. So that's the, and you have to give priority. Of course, cost is important. So you know to see these things and to be notified as well. So once that is done, I'll create the task, and then boom, we'll have tasks. So John under planning. So under planning, we'll have two views. Now you can come back to this place that says to do. Is it under planning or is it in progress? You say it's in progress, right? So that's done. Now remember, it's assigned to Patrick. Yeah. So we are done with that. Let's see what is next. So we are going to the execution list, right? The execution list is clear. We have purchase of cleaning supplies, confirm volunteer attendees, and then print banners. Remember, these are assigned to anyone. So we can, okay, it's actually assigned to Zainab. It's stated here as well. So Zainab is the one that is handling all this. So let's create all these three lists and then under execution quickly. So we'll go back to click up. Remember, we are done with planning. So we are going to the execution list now. Now under execution, there is no task. So let's start by creating each of them. The good thing is that everything here is assigned to Zainab. So create all the tasks. The first task says May 5th to get the supplies. Right. So purchase supplies. Let's say it's in progress. Assigned to Zainab. Due date, I think I saw May 5th. Let me just double check from the PowerPoint slides. Yes, May 5th. So we go to May 5th. Let's not fix any time. So let's just say May 5th. That's date. Priority. Yes, it's high, not urgent. So let's say it's high, stays high. And then who don't put on watch out? Put me as a watch out. So I'm also aware of what's going on. So you see, I've been included. Let's see if I want to include more people. Maybe let's include Michael. So it's been included. So you have two watch outs already, right? And once that is done, we've created the task. Create. So that is done with that. Let's go straight to the next task we need to create. Remember, we're creating three tasks under Zainab. So we have next task says confirm at volunteer attendance. Okay. So that's that. April 28th is the due date for that. It's assigned to, of course, we all know Zainab is one that's handling that. That should be in progress, let's say. Assigned to Zainab. Due dates. Due date again, 28th of April. Just to double check. 28th of April. The due dates. We can put time. Let's say 1:30 p.m. And then that's that. Priority, very high priority. And then remember, we have two people already under the watchers list. Here you can attach something. So if you want to attach, let's say Zainab requires to attach the attendee list. You can upload files from here, right? So you can upload the list of attendance here as well. So you can see this. So that's that. So if you want to attach anything, you attach, and then you create it. So that's done, right? Next, you go to, we have the last one under execution. Create a new list. I'm also watching for time. This is 10:32. Okay. Now the last task for Zainab under execution is print banners May 1st, right? So the task is to print banners. Of course, let's say that's still under planning. Let's not say it's in progress. Let's say it's still under planning. We assign that, of course, Zainab is one handling it. Due date May 1st, I think. May 1st, let's not set any time, and then create. Now I'm done with the three tasks that needs to be done. Now let's go back to the presentation. I think let me teach you something about a sub-task. So remember task one that says write and submit approval, right? There's a sub-task that says that must be reviewed and submit. Look at the sub-task under write and submit approval. So let's come back to planning. So under planning, let's go back to review. And so this is the particular task we are talking about. Under this, right? Under these activities, we need to create a subtask. Yeah. So I've added a subtask under. Remember, I came here and add. So that's why you add it. So you see, add a subtask. What it means is that it's still under this. So it's still Paul handling this. And then you put a subtask. Say the subtask is basically to draft, review, and submit. Let's say this is, of course, before you can submit, it has to be reviewed. It's still assigned to Paul. That's why it's subtask, right? And maybe the person who review it, let's say it's favored or is reviewed. I can add favor to it, assign as review, right? Priority, of course, very high. Due date, if I'm submitting on the 5th, it means probably she has to review before then. So let's say she'll review on the 1st of May, right? So when this is done, it can be approved, right? So that is subtask. So we're done knowing how to add subtask. So if you have multiple activities under one task, you use your subtask function. So we are done with that. Let's go to post event list. So we are here now. Post event list is being handled by Patrick, and the activity is simple. They are all on the 1st of June. Okay, so the event is actually on May 17th, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, May 17th. If you can see it here. I'm waiting for it to show on the other screen. Good. So May 17th here. So come back to this. What it means is that all these activities. So if you bet 17, let's say this is due. Remember social media upload and all that. So let's say it's due on the 16th. So I can come here and say 16th, right? Of May. So we have to upload every picture 16th of May. So let's make everything here. Thank you. Remember, thank you. Of course, yes, you will get the presentation. We'll share the presentation with you guys. So thank you note will be done after the event. Remember, the event is on the 17th of May. So our thank you note should go out, let's say 18th of May. And then write an event recap. We can say event recap should be done on 20th of May after the whole event. Right? So we're on track with this. So let's go on and then remember assign tags. I've mentioned how to use the washers already, right? So let's go straight away and talk put the information into the platform. So we're not dealing with post events. right? So let's start adding activities. So we have, let's add a new task. The first one would be upload social media. That's due May 16th. Right? You can describe if you want to make a description of what you want to say, but for now, I don't think there's a need for that yet. So leave that for now and go back to creating the tags. Now the tags have been created under upload photos. Now let me show you another shortcut. This is the post events, right? Here is the tags name. So I can come back here, right, and add up everything. There's no subtask. I can tag if I want to create a tag. I can rename this tag if I want to rename. I can assign. So remember what we did on this place. You can easily create and come here and then continue. This is due. It's meant for Patrick to do due date. I think we did say 16th of May. 16th of May. Let's put, since it's a post, well, we cannot put our time. We want this done by 12 p.m. That is done. Priority, low for now because it's still fast. So have a low priority, right? And remember, you have a lot of other functions here. You can place remind me, you can duplicate tags, you can convert to, you can add to. There's a whole lot of functions for you to use here, right? Dependencies are also, if this is related, who is this related to? So you add dependencies. Let's say you are waiting on Paul to approve. You can say waiting on Paul. Done. So you add that dependency so it shows. The dependencies are also tied to existing tags. So let's see. Good existing tags. So I'm waiting for confirmation of attendance. Yeah, by Zena. So you add that, right? So that's the dependency that's been added. So there's a dependency that Zainab needs to finish her part before this is done. So we're done with this. Quickly add the other tags. There's a lot I still want to show you. So let's just quickly go and add the other two tags. I'm sure you already know how to add projects already. So I'll be fast with it, and then we can show you other things about that you need to know quickly. So let's say send thank you notes. Send thank you notes is due on the 18th of May. Still assigned to, this is in progress. Oh no, this is in planning. It's assigned to Patrick. Due date, skip my mind, 18th of May. That has been created. Let's click on create the third one. I want to change thank you note from planning to okay, post event. Yeah, it's on post event. So let's go to the last. So we have two activities on post event. The last one is Write event recaps that is due on 20th of May. Assigned to Patrick, due date 20th of May. Priority is low for now, so since it's still far. So we've created that. Now that is done, let's see some other features of ClickUp, right? So this is done already. Now the bit of so I've done, we've assigned all our tags and everything, right? We've also talked about using flags, high-low. We've talked about attaching dates. Of course, now the automation is another reminder. Let's quickly look at this part, how to choose your views. Now, remember, the good thing about ClickUp is so cool. There's a section called the board section. So let me click on the board section. The board section is a very fantastic view where it shows you everything that you need to do. So you see your planning, all the whole tasks that is involved, right? It's all under this board section. Do you know why this is very cool? This makes these two very easy and user-friendly. So let me give an example. I'm done with, let's move the thank you notes. Let's say thank you notes are in progress, right? I can move it to under in progress. So it's left planning, it's gone to in progress, right? So you can see, you can easily move your tags to anywhere. So let's say let's pick one section. Let's go to planning. Yeah. So under planning, again, go to the board view, right? The board view, you see all that's going on. Now, let's say submit approval is done, right? I can easily come and say, you know what, it's completed. Come here and say, if I'm dragging this, I'm moving it to the section that says complete, right? Can you see that? And then if that's one way, if getting material estimates, let's say that's at risk, maybe dollar price went up and then the budget has an issue because now we have to pay more, so it's at risk. You can come and put it at risk. Now remember, whatever interface you see here, everybody using ClickUp, my other team members are seeing it from their own point of view as well, right? So you're seeing from my screen, but imagine the team members, Dana, Patrick, Michael, people, they can see it from their own screen as well, right? So that already helps you move things around. Then come to your calendar. Under the calendar section, right, you can view what is due, see material cost. You can use calendar section to view what is due, right? And then you can also see under the theme, you can add more things, but this is for the paid section. So you won't be able to use this for the free section. But we don't actually need this because the number of themes you have already added. The Gantt chart shows you your timeline and the progress of your project. So this is how it looks like. You can see all the days involved. Keep scrolling and you would see what is involved. So you see there's a particular tax on this day, right? And then the timeline before it's being done. So your Gantt chart shows you everything. So ClickUp has a very beautiful view that you can use to see a lot of things. So with this, let's go back to our project. Remember, this is complete. Already, so I can come back here and say, this is done. Or if it's, let's say, this is also complete as well. Complete. Getting material cost is on is at risk. So you can see that it's at risk here, right? So we can say, okay, we've resolved it, we've gotten more funding now, and then Zainab is done with the costing, and you can see complete, right? So you see every tax here is complete. Now let me show you something. There's the part that says everything, right? What everything does is everything helps you get an overview of all that's going on in your projects, right? Get an overview of all that's going on in your project. That's everything. And then your the project itself that says cleanup side. If you click on it, you see under the overview, it shows you all that's going on. So you can scroll down, you would see this is the level, this is your workload status. So you see the things that are done, things that are completed, things that are in progress, things that are in planning. You can see that all here. Resources, if you want to attach something, maybe we've said, okay, for everything that is done, take a picture that you've got in the course, upload it here. You can attach those things here. So we won't go into that, but that is how simple ClickUp is. You can attach a document, make notes, bookmark. It's a whole lot you can do in ClickUp. And there are other features here as well that you can use. All right. Your notepad, you can also get on the video, do a quick video, set reminders. That's a summary. I'm looking at time, this 10:48. That is summary of ClickUp. If you look at, we've basically covered everything here, right? Collaboration, sharing of files and images, which I talked about already. You can add documents and everything, but take note, everything you need to know is under your everything section, and you see the project. And then you have your dashboard. If you want to use a whiteboard within your team to make notes, you have access to creating whiteboards. Remember, you share it with your team. The dashboard section, your dashboard is meant to show you where you have templates. So you have your reporting templates that you can time trackers. You can add to these things. Some of these things, when you want to use them, you now have to pay for them. But simple tool to use is this section to manage your project. And this is free to use, and anyone can use this. You can get your project concluded, and then everyone is getting aware of what's going on. So that's this 10:49. This is I'm done with ClickUp, and I hope this was able to give you a brief overview of what ClickUp is all about. There'll be a section for Q&A. So Joy, please help me take note of the questions. Let's move quickly to best practices when using tools. Now, the thing with using various tools is one, use something simple. Remember ClickUp, how easy it seems to use. Use something simple. Don't go into the difficult ones, Microsoft Project and everything. No, use what starts simple, and then you grow your skill to start using other tools. And be consistent. We start this project with ClickUp. We can't start changing to say, okay, let's just change to Zoom. It's not ideal to be inconsistent while using tools. Then choose the right tool for your team. I chose ClickUp for one reason. It's very simple. It's free. At least most of this section is free. We've not paid for anything while using this section, right? Some other tool require to make some payment for before you can use some key features, but you don't need to do that with ClickUp, right? So you have to choose a tool that works for you. Automate your tasks, of course. Every tool, most modern digital tools is automated. You've seen that. And we talked about other tools that you can use to automate. There's a tool called make.com. You can check it out. You can use to automate your process as well. ClickUp has an automation section as well. And then your data is secured. Of course, you saw me signing into ClickUp at first. You have to use a tool that helps you keep your data secured. Now this is 10:50. I hope yes, I'm within time. So we'll go to our Q&A. Joy, over to you. What questions do you have from those participating? So I can we have I know there are a lot of questions, but we'll take as much as we can for the next let's say 2-3 minutes, because I have a quiz for you guys. Joy too will take that section of the quiz, and then but let's have your Q&A. So if you have any question, Joy, just read it out, and I can address them as much as I
Okay,
can.
thank you so much, sir, for such an amazing session. It was such an
You're
enlightening
welcome.
and knowledge-packed session for me. In fact, I have so many questions already, but I will leave the floor for everybody to be able to drop their questions. And I have Sheriff here. He dropped a question now for me. It says, hello, I have a question. I am curious to know how to check the overall project status using these digital tools if you want to create a report. So I will read again. I'm curious to know how to
Yep.
check the overall project status using this digital tool if you want to create a report. Do you get that, sir?
So yes, so if you look at this, this is I said number one, if you go on to the everything section, you would see everything happening on your dashboard, right? The various tasks. and then it goes specifically to the cleanup Saturday project itself. This section, remember, because we have less activities, we just only did a lot of few things. So you see, for instance, document seems to be empty, same thing with bookmark. But scroll down, you would see if you have folders. These are the lists. Here it gives you the progress. You see how far you've gone with your team members and who is assigned, right? And then further scroll down, you will see the workload status, right? So here you can come up with your various reporting section, go into detail about what it is, and then you can actually get more information from this. So it helps you. So you have your everything section to get your information. You also have your the dashboard is a section that will help you where you can create your reports. It's the team reports that you can create, right? But again, creating reports, you have to, it's under the paid section, like I said, to execute it. But to execute with ClickUp, you have the paid tool versions, which you use some tools to pay. You have to pay to use some tools. But with the free tool, you can get a report from the everything section, like I showed you already. You can get information you need to prepare your report from ClickUp. So I hope that answers that question. Next question, please.
Okay, we have a question from Barnabas. So it says, how many number of persons can use these tools per project?
You can use as much as you want for the project, but once you want to add multiple teams, right? Then you go to the paid section. Remember, there's the part when I clicked on teams. So let's say I want to create multiple. So for now, you see those. This is a free version. It's not paid for. You see, I had about 40 members. I talked about there was Favor, there was Patrick, there was Michael, there was me, Paul, right? And there was Zena. 5 of us used the project. But under the team section, where you have to add more teams, it's going to require you to be in the paid version. And this is when you want to add more, have unlimited users, right? So I can have some from my organization collaborate with somebody from another organization, and that's when you have the paid version. So it's unlimited when it's paid for, but the free one can have as much as 20, 30 people use the free once they are added and they've accepted it to execute this tool. So a lot can use it. Yeah. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, sir. So
let's take the last question before.
Thank you so much, sir. Since there are no further questions, so I guess this is where we'll end our question and answer session. Thank you so much, sir, for that insightful session. We really enjoyed ourselves.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, so I'll hand back to you for the Q&A. Joy. So I have 3 questions for you for the attendance. And I hope, Joy, you hope you are noting those that are participating, because I think we have a couple of gifts for those attending.
Yes, sir.
Joy.
I have my people already.
Okay. So you can ask the questions and let's see those that would answer. Maybe with the 4th person to answer is who. We'll pick 3. I think we are picking 3 winners, right?
Yes, sir.
Good. So go ahead and ask the questions.
Okay. So I will be sharing my screen from this end. Okay. Thank you, sir. So question number 1. This is a Q session. So we'll all expect us to drop in our responses to the question displayed on the screen in the chat box. So question 1, in ClickUp, what feature will you use to assign a team member? Oh, wow, I have responses already. What feature will you use to assign a team member a specific task like buy glove? A, goals, B, status, C, assignee, D, priority. Okay,
we'll come back to the answer. Let's go to the next question before answering.
We have C.
Let's just pick the first one.
Okay, well, I will have to go for the first person that provided answer to that, which is Chibudu Okedina. Okay, I hope I didn't murder the pronunciation of your name. Pardon me for that. So question 2, what is the best way to visualize your project timeline and deadlines in ClickUp? A, chart view, B, calendar view, C, doc view, D, post view. Oh, wow. We have a lot of varying answers. Okay.
So let's go to pick the first person and
Some
go to the
people
third one.
are going for A, while some people are going for B. Someone went
Okay,
for
we'll come back.
C. We have Adewale Adejuwon going for C. We have
Okay,
Tolulope going
okay,
for A.
okay,
So,
good. We'll come back to the answer. We'll pick some. So let's do the third question. Don't worry.
okay, so our third question for today, and this will be the
Yeah.
last question for the quiz session. Which ClickUp feature gives a visual drag and drop interface for task progress, e.g. to do, then in process and done? A, board view, okay, calendar view, timeline view, table view, okay, okay.
So pick. Okay. All right.
This
So
is
pick the first
nice.
person. All right. So let's quickly. I'm looking at the time. Let's quickly go to the first quiz. The first one is assignee. Remember, I'll go to click up in assigning someone under your project. You would see assignee section, which is where I can use to add people to my list, right? So the first answer is assignee. Joy, I'm sure you picked your first winner. The second one, I hear a lot of people going back and forth. Of course, is the calendar view. Once you see time, calendar view. I know some people want to pick a chart view, but calendar view. Let's go back, click up again, and see the calendar view is where you have your timelines, right? Calendar view is the answer to number 2. Now, number 3 question is yes, board view. A is the answer. So go to here, board view is where you remember I said you can move. So I can move this from planning, I can move it to it's at risk, right? I can move it back to update required. That's the board view. So that's the question. So let's move next quickly to conclude. So John, you must have selected those who won. So let's talk about our takeaways from this, right? So we've seen that digital tools are not just for tech experts. Anybody can use it. They're accessible and they're very powerful, right? That's one thing for everybody. You don't have to be a techie. You don't have to start small. So you see, I use the free tool to just organize this project, right? You don't have to go and use the paid version first. Start small, be consistent, and then gradually you become effective at with the tool. Then free tools are sufficient to manage a youth-led project. If you are in school, you are a committee, trust me, the free version is enough for you. You don't need to go into the paid version to do your project. So there's no reason why you shouldn't use tools to execute your project. So that's it. This is 11 a.m. right on time. Joy, over to you. If you have any questions, I'm reachable. Joy, thank you all for listening.
Thank you so much, sir. I thought I would be seeing a lot of applaud in the chat box right now, but I'm not seeing any. Well, pardon us for that. Thank you so much, sir, for this amazing session. Wow, I have Samuel already applauding in the chat box. Thank you, Tolulope. We have come to the end of today's session, and I have my lucky winners already for both the quiz session and then the most active participants for today's webinar. So thank you so much for joining. It's such an amazing pleasure to have you join us for the first session or the first edition of this DigiSkill project. And we are hoping and looking forward to seeing you in our future webinar. I hope you really enjoyed yourself. So before we go today, I will be dropping our social media platforms, the link to our social media platforms on the WhatsApp, on the chat, in the chat box. So kindly do well to follow us on every of our social media platforms, most especially if you are project management enthusiasts or a youth interested in project management. So kindly follow us on all our social media platforms as displayed in the chat box. And in the next few months, we have series of upcoming webinars under this particular project, and you won't want to miss this. And I'm truly hoping and looking forward to seeing you all. Once again, thank you so much for joining us and enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Joy.
Thank you so much,
Have a great
everyone.
day.
Thanks for
You're
joining.
welcome.
And the
Bye.
PowerPoint slides will be shared to our email address. And our lucky winner too will have to stay in touch with them for their gifts. Thank you.
All right. Have a great
Madam
day. Bye,
Dekweju, I
everyone.
see you. Thank you for joining us. Barnabas, thank you so much for joining. Sandra, thank you. Tolulokwe, it's so amazing seeing you here. Thank you so much. And we are hoping to see you in our next edition. Feromi, thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Chibudu. Oh, yes, you're one of the lucky winners, Chibudu. Don't worry. You got the answer correctly for question one, and you were actually the first person to provide answer to that. So we'll definitely reach out to you. I hope the name on your display screen is your email address, and that was the name you used in registering for this webinar. So we'll definitely reach out to you and for your gifts. Thank you. Thank you, Samuel. Okay, yes, you actually won a gift too, Nene. Yes, you got the answer correctly to question two, and you were the first person to provide answer to it. So definitely, I will be reaching out to you. So see me in your email. Okay, you will love to meet Timileyin from QSA. Okay, she was on this call, but I'm not sure if she's still with us. Okay. Yo, you missing her face. Okay. Oh, Nene says she's a project enthusiast. Nice. So we're hoping to see you in series of our. Oh, nice. So please kindly follow us on our social media platforms, and you'll be seeing more of us and more of this. Trust me. David said he answered the third question, but were you the first person to provide answer to it? No, I'm so sorry. Oh, you said yes. Okay. Thank you so much. So we can definitely leave the call. We've come to the end of today's session. Okay, you answered the second question, but you were not the first person to provide answer to it. I'm so sorry, Thomas. All right. Thank you so much.